You ever picked up your guitar, strummed a chord and yikes, something just doesn't sound right. Something's just slightly off. It's not the whole guitar. It's just that one out of tune guitar string that's ruining everything. Well, today we're going to fix that one out of tune guitar string by ear. That's right. No guitar tuner, no tuner needed. I'll show you how to quickly find the culprit and get it back in tune so you can get back to enjoying your playing without any fuss. And make sure you stick around until the end because I've got a fun little listening challenge where you can join in and test your newly trained ear. So you hear that little wobble or rough discordant sound. That's your guitar telling you that one string just isn't happy. Pretty horrible, right? Now listen carefully as I pick each string, and can you hear which sounds sad or off key compared to the others? Have a listen. Yes, that's right. It's this string here, this third string, the G string, that's sounding a bit off. But is it too high or is it too low? And this is a common puzzle when you're just starting out. So, okay. So we know it's the G string that sounds a bit off, and so we can hear it, this is too loose, right? And when a string is too loose, the note sounds lower than it should be, and this is what we call flat. It sounds a bit, I don't know, floppy. Now I'm going to turn the tuning peg back again. And here now, ooh. Now if a string is too tight, the note sounds higher than it should, and this is what we call sharp. So you can here's how it sounds a bit strained, maybe even a bit squeaky. Still, ugh. And this is how we heard it originally. You know, that little bit off sound. And so when your string sounds off, it's either just a touch loose, that way, which is flat, or it's a touch too tight, touch sharp. Now, how we find that just right spot and get rid of that awful bloody noise? So what we're going to do is we're going to use something that people call the 5th fret method, or also known as relative tuning. And it's how guitarists have tuned their instruments for centuries, just by listening to how strings sound together. So we're going to use this perfectly tuned string next to our problem string, and this is the 4th string here, the D string. Remember, string numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this D string here, this 4th string, is going to be our reference, and we're making sure that our guitar is in tune with itself, not necessarily in tune with an orchestra or your band or perfect concert pitch. This is just tuning to ourselves. Now, our G string is the problem. We're going to use the D string as the guide. And what we do is we go to the 5th fret of that string. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm using my 2nd finger. It doesn't matter what finger you use, 1st finger, 2nd finger, 3rd, 4th, but 2nd is most comfortable. Now we're going to fret the D string. That's the 4th string. And we're at the 5th fret, and we're playing, let's play this. Now this is actually a G note, and this is what the third string, the G string should sound like. So listen to this. Now you can hear they are not the same. So what we need to do now is decide whether we should go higher or lower in order to bring the G string, the third string, to sound the same as our fretted string. So what I usually do is I play both strings and then reach over while the strings are still sounding, and I think we need to go higher, and I keep doing it. And then the more we do it, there's a bit of wobble there, just a little bit. Aha! Now the wobble has gone. Pretty much. Yeah, that's it. So our two strings are pretty much in tune with each other. So as I said, this is relative tuning. So the tuning is basically you being in tune with yourself and nothing else. So that's good. Pretty good to go there. So you're pretty much turning your tuning peg. These are the tuning pegs here. And this one here is the tuning peg for my G string, my third string. And we're tuning it so that we avoid the wobble, that discord and that awful naughty sound that was putting our guitar out of tune. That was making everything sound awful. And the 5th fret method works for all but one of the strings, and we'll come back to that in a moment. But now we should have a much nicer sounding G major chord. So we're basically using our tuning peg here to put the string back so that it's the same sound as that fretted note that we had on the 4th string. Now the 5th fret method works for all but one guitar string, and we'll come to that in a moment. But so you hear that? That sounds much better, doesn't it? And let's compare that to the sound we heard at the beginning. So you just fixed that string with your own ears. And here's a quick question for you. How do you usually tune up? Do you do it? Do you get somebody to do it for you? Do you have a tuner, electronic, pitch pipes, I think they're called? How do you tune up? Let me know down below in the comments. All right, now it's your turn. We're going to put those newly trained ears to the test. I'm going to play a few different chords, and in each one, just one string will be slightly out. And your mission is to tell me which string it is and whether it's too high or too low. Have a listen to this. This is the C major chord. Now tell me what you think. Ooh, sounding horrible, right? All right, now I'm going to pick each string and you tell me which string it is. And one more time. Okay, well, I hope you guessed it was the 4th string. This string here, this is the D string. Everything else is good, but not this string. Now, is it higher or is it lower? So what we're going to do is we're going to now fret. What we do now is we're fretting the A string, because we know it's the D string that's wrong, so we're fretting the string next to it. And basically we always do the string kind of before the out of tune string. And so this is the A string at the 5th fret. And so at the 5th fret we have a D note. And so that's what it should sound like, and let's play it together. What do you think? Is that higher or is that lower? Well, I hope you guessed this is actually lower. So I'm going to reach over to the tuning peg, this one here, and play the two strings at the same time. And still a bit out, I think. Right, the wobble has gone. And we now have a much better C major chord. All right, let's try another chord. We're going to try a D major chord. Holy cow. That sounds pretty naff. So let's pick each string and okay, so it is this high E string. This high E string which is out of tune. Now, do you think it's higher or lower? So let's go and work out we're going to go onto the B string, because we know it's the E string that is out of tune, so we're going to go to the string before, and at the 5th fret, here at the 5th fret of the B string is an E note. So not only are you learning to kind of tune up your guitar, but you're also learning some of the notes on the fretboard as well. Here we are. So this is E. So what does that sound? Is that higher or lower? Well, I hope you guessed it is higher. So back to our tuning peg. This is the tuning peg that we need. And we're going to make the string looser. We're going to lower the sound. And we get rid of that wobble sound. And that sounds pretty good. No, that sounds all right actually. Now, if you're finding this lesson helpful and you're ready for more patient, step-by-step guidance designed specifically for adult beginners, and check me out on Till. It's a guitar learning platform and it's a great place for total beginner guitarists, where every question is welcome. Check the description down below. So here's our next chord. We're going to do an A major chord. Listen carefully. Which string is out of tune? Oh, another really nasty sounding chord. And that sort of sound is one I remember having many years ago when I was starting out and not really knowing what to do. But eventually, with a bit of practice, it got easier. So let's pick each individual string. Now I hope you recognised that it was the B string, our second string, that is out of tune. So what we need to do with this one is, so we know it's the B string that is out of tune, our second string. So now we need to go to the string before it. Okay, now this is the only one that is different. All right, this is the only one that is different. And we need to go to the 4th fret, because the 4th fret is a B note, not the 5th fret. The 5th fret is actually a C, but the 4th fret, and this is the only time we will use the 4th fret. Every other string for tuning we'll use the 5th fret. And so what do we think here? Let me play two strings together. So higher or lower? Well, I would say that's probably higher. A little tip, if you can't really tell, you can always hum the notes or sing the notes. And so you kind of get, you know, you hear the kind of the difference in the sound. If you don't want to hum, you could always sing. Out of tune, out of tune. It's stupid, but it helped me when I was younger. Out of tune. So this is too high, so I need to make the string looser. So I'm going to play the two strings together. This is the tuning peg for the second string. And I think we have success. All right. So we've pretty much got rid of that wobbly sound. And if we play the chord, a much nicer sounding chord. And we're going to play an F chord. How's your F chord doing, by the way? So, have a listen to this. Whoa, that sounds nasty. So, which string is it? Have you guessed what it is? Alright, again, it's the second string. That one right there. And a reminder again that the second string uses the 4th fret of the string before it, not the 5th. Here we go. In tune. So what do you think? Is that higher? Is that lower? I can hear Bruce Forsyth in my mind. Okay, that is, and I hope you guessed it, that's lower. So back to the tuning peg here. And we're going to twist it in the opposite direction. Let's try that again. Still got a bit of wobble. All right. And that's our F major chord. Sounded pretty nice. Here is the E major chord. That really does sound rough. And it's amazing how one string, one out of tune guitar string, can severely screw up the sound of a chord. All right, so let's pick each string. Yeah, it's that one there. It is the 5th string, our A string. So we're going to go to the string before it, this one right here, and what do you think that is? Is that higher, lower, higher or lower? I hope you guessed that it is higher. So let's go to the tuning peg. And try and get this. All right. So just a slight adjustment. It's not a huge adjustment. And if you find yourself going in the wrong direction, stop, especially if you're going higher. Because the higher you go, there's a greater chance of you snapping a string, and you want to be very careful there, especially if it goes in your eye. Right, so that's in tune. It's quite a nice sound. And if we play the chord, sounding a lot nicer. So remember, all of the strings, apart from tuning up the B string, use the 5th fret method. B string, you need to use the 4th fret on the G string. And so that's absolutely brilliant. You're developing a fantastic ear. And this skill gets easier and faster every time you do this. And again, be patient. Right, because it takes time to develop your ear, and tuning by ear is a lifelong skill. And you know, I know it's very common, you know, if you're out of tune, you go for your guitar tuner, or you go for one of those clip-on tuners or something online. But using your ear and developing that ear is going to make you a much more confident, intuitive guitar player. And that's what you're aiming for. You don't want to be relying on technology all the time, because one day, you know, it might all go. Now, what I would recommend to practice this is to choose a chord and then ask your partner to put one string out of tune just a little bit, just a little. Don't let her go woo like that crazy, because as I said before, if you go too high, you could snap a string. So just a little bit. Just change it a little bit, choose a string and change it a little bit. And then you go back and work out what the string, well, I'm getting out of tune myself. And then you go and work out what string is out of tune, and then you fix it. Is it higher? Is it lower? Maybe sing or hum to the 2 notes as you play them simultaneously. So now that you're in tune, why don't you go and play some of these songs here? Thanks so much for joining me today, and happy tuning.